Hello, it's Regina. Welcome back to my haunted library. Today I wanted to extend a big thank you to my 500 subscribers. I got a little message from YouTube that I made that milestone, so I was really thrilled. Now, by the time I upload this, I might have 495, but the point is, I feel like I wanted to give back to my subscribers a little bit by doing a giveaway. And also I wanted to talk a little bit about, in this video, about my it's kind of like my year-end BookTube review. So I don't know how long this is going to go on. So I'm going to start with the giveaway. To qualify for the giveaway, you have to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below. It could be any comment, but if you'd like to give me some maybe suggestions for moving forward with my channel, I do have some ideas about that I'll discuss in this video about like where I'm thinking about going with it. Like, would you like to see more book reviews, like single book reviews, or would you like to see like more Batilda videos? Or another thing that I was thinking about is doing film reviews for some of my favorite classic, old school classic horror films. It's something I've been thinking about doing. Maybe not every week. I don't know if I'll be able to get that together, but maybe once a month, going into my favorite like 70s drive-in type of horror films. Now, within my haunted library, I have a screening room. I have like a big movie projector, and I do watch films in here, so I thought maybe I would invite a guest and maybe we could discuss it. I think I did one movie review here, Mandy maybe. But anyway, I'd kind of like to get into that. If that's something that you think you would enjoy, let me know. And any other kind of suggestions that you have, I'd appreciate. So next week, I will draw the winner, and the prize is a $25 gift certificate to Amazon. And I know that we all spend probably a lot of money on that site if we buy books, so that might come in handy. So thanks again for being part of my channel. I was reflecting, getting ready this morning about like what my year on BookTube has been like. So I started back last May. And I had been watching BookTube for at least a year and really getting into it, and then deciding, well, you know what, I'd like to try this. So I'm really glad I did. I'm glad I stuck it out. I probably have uploaded at least once a week, and for that I'm feeling pretty proud. So when I started my channel last year, I was doing more of the bigger booktubers. Like I hadn't really found my niche yet. So I went to BookCon and I bought some books that, you know, a lot of people were talking about. These are like YA books. So like this one, then there's this one, and then there's this one that I just read. But I've decided that I'm going to kind of clear the deck of this type of book that's very popular on BookTube, just because after reading like these 3 books, and I've got more that I will read, and I mean, hopefully I'll like them. But I wasn't real crazy about any of these books, so I'm going to be driving over to my local library today after I do this video and seeing if they would want to accept these books as a donation, only because they're really nice books. I read them, but they're in good shape, and I know I'm not going to read them again. This whole thing with YA on BookTube, I know this is it's been a topic, and Bald Book Geek, who's one of my favorite booktubers, just did a video about it, and I have been following the drama, I guess you could say, on Twitter about these different young adult books that have been self-canceled because of different like calling out and stuff. I don't know. It just it's not something I want to be part of in any way. And when I was reading these Twitter feeds of all this like toxic YA stuff, one guy who I immediately followed, I forget who it was, wrote, hey, I write, hardcore horror, and we're all real nice to each other, which prompted me to write a blog about it, because I was thinking about that, and I'm like, yes, we're all really nice to each other. The community that I've met of horror fans and horror writers on YouTube and on other sites, like on Goodreads, have been amazing. You know, like Matt from Weird Mask. He does this zine. Like, he's totally cool, and he published one of my short stories in his zine, and I'm happy to support something like this. All of these horror people are super supportive and non-judgmental. It's almost more like, oh wow, I really like that scene where you flayed the skin off that person. That was really cool. You get high fives for your murder scene and your awesomely rendered kill scene. And there's so many great books, and there's so many good indie authors that I've discovered. People like Kay Oliver, who I worked with, and on this anthology, I have a short story in here too. I've been reading her short story. She's great. People like Chad Lutsky, who I just discovered through BookTube, who's amazing, and I plan to keep reading his books. So I feel like my year on BookTube has been about kind of finding my niche. So I don't want to be negative about these books. They just weren't really for me. I think some people really, obviously, really love these books. So I'm just going to pass that on with love and make more room on my shelf for horror and fantasy, which I've gotten into a lot lately. And I'd like to read more sci-fi too. Those three genres, I think, are just really where I'm going to hang for a while. I still want to read all of Clive Barker's works, which I'm way behind in that. I started that playlist and kind of neglected it. I have a lot of paperbacks that I want to read, and I did read the first two Wheel of Time books. I didn't jump right into the third one yet. I'm taking a little break, but I will. I do have it in paperback, so I will get to it. And one thing I have kind of discovered about doing BookTube after a year is, and people have talked about like YouTube burnout or BookTube burnout. I don't feel like I'm close to burning out, but I definitely feel like this sort of self-imposed pressure I put on myself sometimes to read all of these books. Like for now, I have 3 books that I'm currently reading that publishers have sent me for review. And I'm thrilled to do that. Like I really am thrilled to do that. And they're all horror books. So I'm reading one about halfway through, and then I've got those other 2 on deck, to read next. But other than that, I just want to be relaxed about my reading like I've always been. I've always been a prolific reader. And, I always have like 3 books going at once, basically. But I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. And when I was reading these YA books, I kind of felt that I was doing this. So I got to keep up with these books that other people are reading. And that was just silly. So these books are going. I still have some YA books on there, like Cassandra Clare, who I do like her books. At least I read the first one in her, was it City of Bones? There's a lot of bones in these YA books. But anyway, City of Bones, and then I didn't read the second one, but I'll get to it. And Twilight, I've got Twilight. Twilight is a fun book, and because I study story structure, I only read the first one. I do think that one reason why that's so popular is because it's dealing with a really powerful archetype, and one of these days I'll do a whole video about that. If you're interested, the guys at Stripped Cover Lit are doing a hilarious deep dive into Twilight right now. I was watching it and I was dying laughing, and it was actually really good and very well done. So I guess my year in review is, and I'm rambling a bit, is just a gratitude that I've made so many like online friends, and that I've gotten some subscribers who appreciate what I'm doing and enjoy it. And I would really love to hear from you about, like I said, what would you like to see? More Batilda screen time, or movie reviews, or different types of content. I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow with this and kind of do what I feel like doing, and maybe I should just keep doing that. But anyway, I just wanted to say thanks again for checking out my channel, and I will see you soon in my haunted library. Bye.